Welcome to another edition of Bowie TV's Youth, Community, and Lifestyle. During this hour, we're bringing you highlights from some of our shows focused on youth, community, and lifestyle. Please be sure to give us a follow on all of our social platforms. First, on Pitt Sports Zone, we hear from the last round of high school football players across Anne Arundel County speak at their media day. On How to Steam Your Dreams, we catch the summer programming leading up to the 2025 Ocean Bowl games in Baltimore. Next up on Read Science, tune into part 2 of the conversation with authors Sue Armstrong and George Johnson about the complexities of cancer. On the Spotlight DMV, Susan Smallwood shares her inspiring journey from incarceration to advocating for mental health and launching her own caviar line. Finally, on the Hair Kytchen, we catch part 2 of the conversation with Dr. Tracy Johnson-Rockmore about changing the stigma on dyslexia. As always, sit back, relax, and enjoy this week's programming of Bowie TV's Youth, Community, and Lifestyle.
What's going on, everybody? You know what it is. It's your boy Pitts and Push Sports Talk Radio, Pitt Sports Zone. Bowie TV coming to you live from Anne Arundel High School Media Day. Football season's going down. Y'all know I get excited. I can smell the grass from the house. Today we got South River High School Coach Steve Erksleben, Coach Stevie E. We got South River High with us. How you doing today, guys?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Thank you for asking. So the first question, right? So we all know that, you got 7-on-7, you got off-season weightlifting and things like that. My question is, individually, what have you done outside of team activities with the coaches to strengthen your abilities to work on your craft as a football player?
So obviously, I know you mentioned 7-on-7. Nothing prepares you for the trenches and stuff like that. Day one of hitting. So I think just being able to be in the weight room and then go into the field, just mastering our craft outside. Obviously some of us can't afford trainers and stuff like that, but just going to the field, footwork. Hitting the bags, just helping each other out every day, getting better, 1% better every day.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think hitting the field and getting the guys out there to work is the most important thing. I was a captain last year, and I every single opportunity that we get, I text the group chat. I try to get as many guys out there as possible to do some more field work on their footwork, do block destruction, that type of stuff. And I feel like that will get us better as a team.
Absolutely.
I know you already heard it from them, but it really is a team-wide thing. We are all on the field after practices and whatnot, and they already said it, but it's a team-wide thing. It's not just one or two people, it's everyone.
This year, unfinished business. What are some things that you're looking to for this upcoming season to challenge yourself individually and collectively? We all want to win, right? We know the ultimate goal is to win the game. But inside of that, what are some challenges that you're looking to challenge each other as teammates? Because they say iron sharpen iron, right? What are some things that you're looking for during the season to help you to challenge and both for the outcome of the season, individually and collectively?
As a quarterback, on the offensive side of things, we're all challenging each other. We want to get 3 receivers with over 1,000 yards. So we're working towards that goal, making sure that we're getting throws after practice and whatnot to really reach that. And obviously, from a team standpoint, we want to go all the way, go as far as we can in a playoff run. So it is what it is.
I like that. That's a lot of yak.
Like you said, iron sharpens iron. I think it's important that we all hold each other accountable. I think the most important thing is that we all do our job. If everybody does their job correctly, that's all 11 spots on the field doing their job. That makes the team as a whole, and that makes us stronger. So I feel like it's just important to do your job.
Absolutely.
I think they said most of what I was going to say, but like you said, iron sharpens iron. So, just being a D lineman, going against the O lineman every day, there's no plays off really if it's team, group run, team 2, blitz period, stuff like that. There's no plays off. So if you're going against someone every single day, 100%, obviously they're going to naturally get better, and I think that's what we're going to do this year.
Absolutely. Coach Stevie E. So tell me, Coach, how many seniors are you returning this year?
Turning, we're at like 32.
32?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good number. Okay.
We were young last year.
Okay. So for you, Coach, what are you most excitedly looking forward to this season from the work that you guys put in the off season to put it together as a package for this upcoming season?
Well, we want these kids to take this on. It's not be a transactional thing, be a transformational thing. And they own it, they take it, they have a purpose with everything that they do, so they're not wasting their time. And that's something they're going to value and address that to the rest of their lives. Whether it's playing college football, another college sport, we talk about being better employees, fathers and husbands. It starts right there. So our goals don't really involve winning and losing. It's about, how we get better as people. Better people make better Seahawks, right?
Yeah.
So.
And what's funny, before I get to you, Coach, he just said another catchphrase. So behind off scene, of course, you guys know I interviewed Coach Bernard Clark Jr., Robert Morris University. He actually knew the phrase Bobby Moe, right?
Yeah.
So, but you just said another catchphrase. So Coach has a saying for his players, and something that you said, right? You want to coach them for W's and wins, right? But you also want to prepare them to be better young men, better sons, better fathers, better models.
It's a relationship.
And I love that you said that, because I think at sometimes it does appear, depending on the coaches or the players, it appears transactional instead of transformative, like you said. And when I hear a coach say that, it tells me it's about the wins and losses, but it's bigger than the wins and losses. It's about character development. It's about discipline. It's about, developing who you're going to be once you leave these walls.
One thing we talked about on one of our last workouts was, you make a mistake, forgive yourself.
Yeah.
These kids are hard on themselves. And I heard one years ago, the plays are on you, the mistakes are on us. So it's okay.
Absolutely.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Maybe the Teflon on that.
Yes, sir. Same question for Coach.
Can you repeat it again?
Oh, the question was, what are you most looking forward to from this year's, all the off-season workout, that you've done off-season, packaging it all together, and most looking forward to this season?
I just really want for them to see the fruits of their labor, like the work that they've put in, the extra work, the working out on Saturdays, getting together on Sundays to run and do stuff themselves, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I want to see it pay off for them and see them have as much success as they hope to have this season. And we know it doesn't always end in a win, right? But it's like what he said, right? How does this season go? How do we transform not just them, but ourselves as well as we go through that process? Right, and so I want to see that.
What's going on, everybody? You know what it is. It's your boy Pitts from Pitts and Foot Sports Talk Radio, Pitt Sports Zone, Bowie TV, coming to you live from Anne Arundel High School and Football Media Day. Today, man, we got Old Mill High School going down. Coach Joey Hall's here with us. Listen, it's a beautiful day for some football. It's a lot of teams represented here, but only one stand at the end of the season.
You know
How y'all doing today?
How you doing, Coach?
So check it out. So this is what I want to do. Players first. I want you guys to tell me, not team activity, I want you guys to tell me something that you did in the offseason by yourself or not involved with the capacity of the team to strengthen your game.
I like to try to implement different trainings in my schedule, with implementing weightlifting, agility, running back training, just different things to sharpen my game.
So I went to a lot of college camps to just get better, see different coaches, see new drills and stuff like that. And then I also did QB Factory. So.
I did a lot of training with some trainers, like running back, weightlifting, and stuff like that, linebacker training, and yeah, that's it.
I was in the gym a lot, and I looked at lots of NFL players play the same position as me and studied their game.
I worked when nobody was looking. I'm ready to do the impossible.
I went to a couple colleges, went to a couple camps, see how colleges was, see like bigger players, see how players played, like take things from them. And then I was doing 2 of these, like work out in the morning, and after that, work out again by myself.
So tell me, what are you most looking forward to this upcoming season?
I'm trying to get at least like 10 sacks. I'm trying to go both ways. At least go 10 sacks, go both ways.
You say, what's the question? Oh, tell me what you're most looking forward to this upcoming season.
I'm trying to get 10 sacks and go both ways.
I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to doing the impossible. Like I said, I'm looking forward to working hard, breaking all type of records.
I just want to tackle somebody. I just want to slam somebody. I'm just looking forward to that.
Winning games, winning out the playoffs, trying to make the state championship, trying to break a couple tackling records and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's my senior year, so I'm just looking to go out there, win a bunch of games. I'm hoping to set a new school record, but we'll see how that goes.
I'm excited just to play with my guys, play with my coaches, but also I want to show everybody that I'm the best running back, not only in the county but in the state, and just go out there and have fun. It's my last year, just have fun with my guys one more time. That's all I can. I don't want to put too much pressure on it.
Absolutely. Coach? So, Coach, for you, what are some of the, how many returning seniors do you have this year? 15. When we talk about football, a lot of the things that I like to highlight, and when I talk to a lot of younger athletes, is the physical aspect is important, but the film study and the mental aspect of the game is more important. Can you talk about the importance of film study that for your players?
Well, I'm the player mental development guy. So I'm the one that texts everyone every night mentally and get them prepared for the next day. The motivation to understand what's happening during the season. I'm that guy. I talk to him, I talk to him, I talk to him, I talk to him, I talk to him every day. So the film study is the most important thing. That's what you understand about the game for the next game and the past game. Study, study, study.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we can see how much film they look at on Huddle. So that was something that we're really gonna be focusing on this year. You know, watching film, see how much time they watch it, how long they watch it, and that's gonna dictate a lot of their playing time.
Well, as a coach, right? Talk about the relationship building, right? Because every year you have different guys coming in, and every year there's different personalities, there's different characteristics. Let's talk about, the benefits of that for your job as a head coach and how you're able to really kind of corral it in, knowing each individual.
So I try to focus on knowing them when they're freshmen, when they're just coming in. I talk to the freshmen, sophomores, all the way up, just to build that relationship because they're going to be with us for the next 4 years. So that's something that we really try to focus on, talking to them when they're kids, even going out to the youth league games. I'm all in, and then after football season, I talk to them. During whatever sport they're doing, we go up and show love to that sport. We're just always around them. They know they can call us anytime, text us, anything. We're there.
Absolutely.
Same question.
So, this same question.
It's easy. We show love and we get love back. We show these kids that we here for a reason. We here for them from every year, like Coach said, from freshmen. We've been with him for 4 years, starting quarterback 4 years. Man, 4 years starter. So we understand how these kids act. We interact with these kids every day. It's a lovely thing when these kids show you the respect as a coach and as a man. And our foundation is teaching these boys to become young men. So it's easy for us. We love what we're doing and we're doing it for a reason.
We got 3? Awesome stuff.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from the Ocean Bowl Games 2025. It is the 3rd official day of summer, and we're here at Cecil Kirk kicking off session 1, covering science and technology. I couldn't be more proud of my team. We're getting to do some good work today, and hopefully we can get through the entire lesson plan and gamify the system, which is one of our missions here at Sting Your Dreams / Ocean Bowl Games. Shout out to Roma.
You guys remember some of the playground games you played last year? Physical activities. So we're all about learning, but we're also about getting you guys physical. So we're gonna be with you guys for the next 3 weeks. So the next 3 weeks, we're here to get you ready for Ocean Bowl games. You guys are competing against other rec centers. So you guys wanna win, right? Yeah! Cecil Kirk wants to be the championship team.
Who here likes gifts? Y'all like money more than gifts? Who here likes free stuff? Of course, everybody loves free stuff. At Ocean Bowl games, you guys are gonna have a chance to win all of that. If you get really, really good at the games, the physical activities, and all the camp activity missions, you're gonna get an opportunity to win money, win gifts, and win a lot of things for your rec center, and come out on top and be the winners. Does that sound good? Yes. Come on, man. I feel like everybody loves gifts and everybody loves money. I saw all the hands go up for that.
Hello, it's Coach Tariq. I'm here at Mary E. Rodman. It's their first time participating in Ocean Bowls, and we're very excited to have them. Today, we're going to be doing kickoff, an introduction, along with science, AR scavenger hunt, and technology, Microsoft Make a Code. Over the next 3 weeks, we'll be here once a week, coming in to work with you guys and helping prepare you guys for an actual Ocean Bowl game so you can be prepared and set your best foot forward to win.
Coming to you live, 2025, Session 1. We're here with the reigning champs of Ocean Bowl games 2023 and 2024, the illustrious Harlem Park Recreation Center, and the great Coach Lucky. And we're looking forward to kicking things off. We're about to move into a session. Today is predominantly science and technology, and we'll be back to you soon with how everything went.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and stop.
Okay, so our team name is Tiger Sharks. We are the stylish superheroes because we're stylish. We don't have no style. The Phoenix Suns.
Where'd you guys choose that from? Basketball?
We're the Ocean Tiger Sharks. And
OCS is making a return.
The black jellyfish.
Blue is the Ocean Sharks. It's Blue Ocean Sharks.
Blue Ocean Sharks.
our name is the Golden Sharks.
Our team name is Seal Turtles.
Super Seahorses.
Super Seahorses. Black Twins.
Well, you guys have Gators and Kraken. Which one do you guys
Kraken.
Kraken sounds cooler?
Yes. The King Shark.
All right, so that was Ocean Bowl 2024, and we're getting ready for Ocean Bowl 2025. Like Coach Kiki said, we will be here for 3 weeks. And in those 3 weeks, we're gonna help you guys prepare so when you take on the other rec centers, you can come out victorious because you wanna win, right? Yeah. I don't believe you wanna win, right? Yeah. There we go.
So today our focus is on science and technology. Next week we'll be focusing on engineering, math, and art, right? And playground games. And playground games.
At Ocean Bowl games, in this activity, you guys are going to use tablets in order to find different images and scan them. Each team is going to be given a riddle sheet. These riddles might have clues from the Legend of Wicked the Kid. So coaches, make sure they read them because they might have it, and I'll answer questions after this.
So because the cameras are super sensitive, when you're trying to scan one to make sure it isn't a zinger, you're gonna make sure it sits by itself, not near any other marker. Because if one's a zinger and one isn't, it's gonna pick up both and you're gonna get a zing. Sound good? Awesome. So give them a little space and try to make sure the camera.
So that's how you do it.
Yep. You can't. They can't be together. Like if they're like this, it's gonna pick up a zinger.
All right, how have you guys been doing on the activity? Have you been getting them right? No. Has it shown up red? That's actually kind of you getting it correct. It doesn't show it, but you have been getting it correct. Have you ever experienced anything like this before? What do you think of augmented reality? Is it pretty cool?
Yeah.
You guys like it? Yeah. Is it something you're gonna try again at Ocean Bowl?
Yeah.
Maybe? You gotta do it for points. All right, looks like you guys are getting a few zingers.
Yeah, but no, it's not. It's not working.
So if it doesn't work, try hitting refresh and see if that does it. So you have to try and match that to which one it is. Surprisingly, if it turns red once you check it, that means that it's correct. It doesn't say that, but you guys got it correct. If it's red, it's correct, which is a bit backwards.
Okay.
Have you guys ever done augmented reality before?
No.
How does it feel to try this thing out?
It's kind of. I feel like that it's a good experience for us because we can like try out different things.
It looks like you got one out of two. How are you guys doing right now?
The game was stuck, and then when we put the QR code under it at first, and it switches.
but it was already on there when I put the QR code under. Like,
So does it mean that maybe it picked up a different image? All right, Ocean Bowl veterans, how you guys doing? Now, I'm pretty sure you remember this activity from last year. What was it like with the memory match?
it's kind of hard. It was kind of hard.
Do you think this one is a bit harder? Or a bit easier?
A bit easier.
Do you think that's just because you remember everything from last year? So you're able to take a guess as to what some of these are?
Yeah.
How you guys doing?
Pretty good. We found some stuff. We have, I don't know how many points we have, but we're doing pretty good.
How many activities have you done so far? 3. So you all found almost all 4. Do you think that you learned this stuff last year, or do you think you're actually figuring it out on the go?
I don't know. This is my first time being back here after 1 year, so this is all new to me.
So it's all new to you. So how have you guys been? Have you guys just been guessing it, or actually are you guys actually using it?
She's good at games, so she's been doing most of it, but we also have to help.
Okay, I like that. So you guys are doing new teamwork. Uh-oh. It looks like they found a zinger.
You did?
You guys found a zinger. That means it's a wrong one. So if you guys find a zinger, you have to go to three bars and try to scan again.
What type of crab is this?
Nobody's a crab.
What kind of crab though?
A green one.
There we go. That's a start one.
But it looks like you didn't drag it in the right place. So you might have gotten it right, but you had to drag it in the right place. But you still would have gotten points. You already tried to see, but now you have to restart it. So you have to hit the 3 corners there. So does it look like you've done it? Exactly, you hit next. So now, if you want to, you guys can work on building a new plane. Have you guys done art before? Let's see what you can do.
All right, did you all like the game? Tell me a few things you learned about the game. Right, you definitely had to match the colors. Each color was a different line of code, and I saw you guys were choosing some very interesting sprites in order to create your game. That was really, really good. Talk to me, what else did you learn about your game? That's good. Now tell me what things were hard about what you were doing. What to do and what to learn. That's what we're all about here at Stigma Dreams. Being active, which is the what to do, and figuring out how to get educated, which is the what to learn. I like how you guys, even though the code was difficult and you hadn't played this game before, I like how you guys were mixing it up and being continuous and trying to finish out the game.
Okay, so what kind of character did you make?
We made this guy right here. His name is all corrected though, so yeah. That's PS Fix.
So I remember that you guys were at Ocean Bowl games last year when we did Microsoft Mako before, but that was a basketball game. How do you guys think about this?
It's kind of cool. I want to learn more about making games and stuff like that, so that's how it's like I guess.
Do you think that you guys like the idea of having more freedom? Because remember, you guys only had the basketball game at Ocean Bowl.
Yes. It gives us an idea to like use our creativities to make games.
Speaking of creativity, let's see what you guys are doing so far. Are you guys going to change up your sprite any?
We already did our plane and then we set the plane so we can move with the buttons.
What did you change your plane to?
We changed it to blue. We changed it to our favorite colors, blue, red, and purple.
Oh, that's cool.
And the session was fantastic. We just wrapped up. They were extremely productive. We covered everything on the session plan today. Harlem Park is still in fantastic shape, going for their number 3 victory, trying to do what the Kansas City Chiefs couldn't and come up with a 3 win. You can see the trophies right here from the last year and the year before that. And I'm not gonna lie, they're definitely one of my favorites. We'll report back to you soon with how things go for session 2.
President Nixon declared war on cancer, and the idea was that we were going to find the cure for cancer. And my question is, do you think that declaring war was premature when we understood the enemy so little as we did in the early 70s?
Well,
Yeah, I mean, you can
the way
declare
cancer
war any time, but
you can.
but it's certainly. I mean, I think it's. I mean, he was looking for something, dramatic and rhetorical, like, Kennedy going to the moon. But I mean, declaring war was probably the wrong metaphor because it gives you this idea that cancer is kind of this monolithic thing that can be defeated in the same way that so many infectious diseases have become not defeated, but seriously vanquished, at least in the developed world. And as we were discussing before, with cancer, something that's so woven deeply into the very nature of multicellular life, there's always going to be cancer. There's never going to be a cure for cancer. There's going to be treatments, and some will be better than others. There'll be some cancers that can be cured, and there already are, and many more that can only be controlled. But
right.
And I think so much of it too depends on, maybe a better goal back then would have been to say we want to find a way to prevent cancer in young people. Because those are the ones that are the most tragic, and we've made huge progress with that. Just with like the cervical
Yes.
cancer vaccine, the antiviral vaccine. So I mean, something like that could essentially come close to wiping out this one form of just very pernicious cancer, or stopping smoking, or researching into childhood cancers. Have made great progress on curing childhood cancers, even though sometimes the cures can lead to some brutal after effects.
But I think 40 years ago, I think people easily expected that we'd find the vaccine that would cure cancer.
Well, yeah, like polio and smallpox.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
But
So
but the cervical cancer thing is a very interesting one, because the cervical cancer one where they have got a vaccine, and that's coming back to what you said earlier, Jeff, that almost every time you're looking at cancer, when you look at what happens to the P53 gene, that's always a player in the field. And the cervical cancer is very interesting because there's the virus that often causes cervical cancer. Something in a protein from that virus actually goes in and it just chews up the P53 and gets rid of it that way, and that's how that starts. So P53 is very, very implicated there, and so you can almost always find it somewhere in the equation. But this idea of
I'm sorry, but you can continue. So I think the root of what I was getting at maybe was, does the course of cancer research in the last 50 years underline something that would be important to me as a physicist? The usefulness of basic research to understand what's going on before you set out to find the cure for something. Because you're only going to find that.
Yeah.
I mean, now we know by understanding the 714 different ways that P53 gets involved.
Yeah, but there is a very interesting thing, because one of my interviewees actually said, people have begun to feel that, we're never going to really get on top of cancer. And he actually said, I mean, he was a great guy, because he kept on saying things that were counterintuitive or that really rubbed people up the wrong way, but were really mischievous things. And he said, if you look at bacteria and look at what we've done with infectious diseases, at one point, when you see just how fearsomely fast bacteria mutate and bacteria manage to get their way around antibacterials and so on. And yet, instead of saying, oh, well, we've got a bacterium for TB, we've got TB of the lung, we've got TB of the bones, we've got salmonella, we've got all of these things, we didn't have to find a cure for all of these. We found a broad spectrum antibiotic, and we did phenomenal things with infectious diseases. And he actually feels that what we should be looking for in cancer is the commonality in cancer, what he called the mission critical thing, the thing without which no cancer can survive. And this might be just a common factor that there might be one or two of those that we can actually attack. And I think that's a very nice way of looking at it.
Yeah, I was really struck by that when I read it in your book, because I hadn't seen anyone make that comparison before. And yeah, it really seems to work. And almost everything you read now, the first thing they say is that, oh, cancer is not a single disease. And then for a while they said 100 or 200 or it's 10,000, depending on the graininess of your definition. Everyone's cancer is individual. And yet it's all basically the same concept, of a cell breaking free of these interlocking controls that are in effect in a multicellular organism. So maybe the difference with being able to control so many bacterial infections and cancer is, again, you have the entropy factor with cancer. So, every time you read about something, it'll say this will prevent, so many thousand or so many million cases of cancer in the next so many years. But what that doesn't say is that the same people may go on to get entirely different kind of cancer later in their life. So, and again, the older you get, and the more entropy has a chance to, work against your cells, the more likely it is that the system will eventually break down. But as far as delaying it further and further into life, when you're going to have to die of something, I mean, maybe that should be the goal, although not as important as the goal of preventing cancer in younger people and working on childhood cancers.
But there are commonalities. So on the way back to Joanne, but Sue, is this where we mentioned the paper from, I think it was 2000, The Hallmarks of Cancer?
Yeah.
And its importance in saying that there are common features and we can understand what's going on.
Yeah,
absolutely. That was Weinberg and Hanahan's attempt when they suddenly saw exactly like you say, George, that it's just such a massive, it's just such a difficult and amorphous thing to get your head around. So many different things happening in the cells, and they thought, well, let's pull together some of this stuff, and they then drew up a list of the hallmarks of cancer, the things which happen in every cancer or almost every cancer. Again, in biology, you can never say every. I'm getting wise to that these days. But they drew up this list of 6 hallmarks of cancer. And now they've added a few more as we've got more information. But it's absolutely brilliant because this has remained the sort of conceptual framework, something into which all the new bits of the jigsaw puzzle can be fitted. And one of the things that's wonderful about this is various friends of mine, while I was interviewing them, or interviewees, would say that when you looked at it, you thought, well, what is the common element in all of these hallmarks? And they said, my goodness, it's P53. P53 has a role in every single one of them, either that it's messed up or that something's happened. But P53 is there, a key player in every one of those hallmarks, which is why, I gave it the title, The Gene That Cracked the Cancer Code. It's there. It again is a nice thing to hang all these various bits of the jigsaw on.
So let me ask here. So we've got two books, both about cancer, and I would think, people who aren't savvy to P53 being the gene so central to everything, they may just walk past that book in a bookstore. You know what I mean? Like or if someone's afraid of genetics, like bad memories from high school, they may not pick it up, right? So, so when you're writing this book, were you writing it going, this is just a great story that needs to be told, and the audience that needs to read it will find it? Or were you hoping to somehow capture a broader audience? And then we'll talk about George's book, because his was written from a different perspective. So,
well, it's an interesting question, that, because I'm not a biologist. I'm not a trained scientist myself. I grew up in a very medical household where we talked a lot about sciencey things and so on, and I was always fascinated, but I always wanted to be a writer, and so it was sort of natural that I went into journalism and then I went towards the science thing. So to a great extent, I'm the audience for my readers. I find science just fascinating, but I am aware that the deeper I get into a topic, the more I get to know about it, then probably I'm leaving some of my readers behind. But I just think to myself that this is, yes, a really good story.
Hey family, it is your girl Rose Johnson with the Spotlight DMV, and today's guest is the definition of resilience, reinvention, and realness.
Ooh la la.
Ooh la la. She has taken the word grandiose, once used to label her behind prison walls, and transformed it into an empire. I'm talking about the powerhouse behind grandiosity events and Le Grand Caviar, Miss Susan Smallwood. She is showing us what it truly means to rise. Welcome to the Spotlight.
Grandest thanks, Rose, and thank you for inviting me.
I'm so excited to have you here. You know, my good friend Joy is who introduced us.
That's right.
And she could not stop singing praises about you and how you giving her an opportunity is what made her who she is today. And guys, if y'all don't know who Joy is, she just won an award for Best Photographer for Women in Sport. Congratulations, Joy.
Yes, Grandest. I didn't even know that. Grandest, she's going to be tonight at the Champagne and Caviar.
Yes, she was asking me if I was going to be there. So while we're talking about it, let's just tell the folks what that is. What is the Champagne and Caviar?
So the Gathering Spot, which is the largest Black-owned private members club, contracted me to do a chef's pairing this evening at the Gathering Spot in Washington, D.C. from 6:30 to 8:30. So I'm presenting my paddlefish caviar, which is out of the norm of what I typically market on my platform. I typically market Royal Eccentric caviar. So anyway, that's happening 6:30 to 8:30. So I'm sharing my backstory on how I started and the entire culture of caviar, unapologetically, unorthodox. Ooh la la.
Well, so let's get into that, talking about your backstory and sharing your backstory. And that is one thing that I have noticed about you. I've done a lot of research coming into this interview, and you have been very open and vulnerable with your journey to where you are today. And so watching the interviews, honestly, it's unlike anything I've heard before. So let's start at the beginning. When folks ask you, how did grandiosity begin? How do you answer that?
So it actually, what you said, you prefaced the interview with that. They called me grandiose in federal prison and haughty. And I consider myself fairly intelligent, but I didn't even know what those two words meant. So when I got over the initial shock of what it meant, I said, I'm naming my business Grandiosity when I come home. And I visualized that while I was in federal prison, that I was going to produce my first event at a private jet hangar. And I did. I manifested that while I was in prison.
Wow.
So while I was in prison, physically, mentally, I was not in prison. But prior to that, I was in mental prison for many, many years because of the mental health battles that I endured.
So let's talk about that, because you did face a lot of trauma, abuse, but you never gave up. And so as a teen, you faced some trauma growing up. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so my dad was a raging alcoholic. He was in the Army. We were stationed we moved all over. I was born in Seoul, Korea. My mother is Korean. And we grew up in Germany and Belgium. So my dad was a raging alcoholic. He was very abusive to both my mother and myself. Although I have two siblings, they were not abused. So I was selected because my father didn't believe I was his child, because I was born very pale with chinky eyes. Anyway, so he held that against me for whatever reason. And so fast forward, then he just took out all his anger on me and my mother for years. And when you're traumatized as a child, you like boundaries and self-love. So for years, I didn't know what boundaries meant. I didn't love myself. And I thought love was external. I thought it was another person. I thought it was a man. And I thought it was material possessions. So I became materialistic. And I thought that my validation came from materialistic possessions. So I had to have the biggest, baddest, grandest, whatever it was. So I bought a house, 7,600 square foot home on 3 acres of land, fancy cars, jewelry, handbags, this, that, diamonds, furs, this, and that. I still wasn't happy. So that's proof in the pudding that material possessions does not bring you happiness.
Yeah, and you hear a lot of people talk about money does not bring happiness. And I understand that when you don't have money, it's kind of hard to understand that concept. But being someone that achieved all of those things and then still not being happy. So how did that lead you to prison?
So I was in a funk. I had lots of crying spells. And I knew I wasn't. I said, "Oh my God, I bought the house thinking I was gonna be happy.
Yeah.
I bought everything, the luxury vehicles, thinking I was gonna be happy, and everything that I got, everything, like I just said, the diamonds are first and everything, and it didn't happen. So I said, well, I'm gonna move. I'm moving to New York, and I'm gonna live in a penthouse in New York, in Manhattan. And so I entered into a deal, and that's what ended me in federal prison because it was an illegal deal, conspiracy to distribute cocaine. So I ended up in federal prison, which now I reflect back because I said, God, the universe, angels, and ancestors always sit us down to get the message. Because if we don't get it one way, we're going to get it another way.
Yeah.
And that was my way because I moved so fast. And I was headstrong. That was the only way the universe could sit me down and say, you're going to get it right now.
Wow. And I can't even imagine that, to go from someone that could have whatever you want to now being confined to being in prison. So what was that like when you heard the judgment and they're like, what was your sentence?
Scary. I was crying. For years, because I endured so much trauma and abuse, I didn't cry for years. And when I started having the flashbacks and I cried a river, it was because I held in everything. I did not seek help. And so that's the other thing. Like when you have experienced trauma, you need to seek help. So I didn't seek help. I held in everything. It festered. So when it festers, it manifests in different ways. And then when you're vulnerable, you don't think straight. So I wasn't thinking straight. So when I entered into this illegal deal, I wasn't really in my right frame of mind. I was actually court ordered by the federal judge to go see a psychiatrist. And at that time, I was diagnosed with dysthymia, which is a functional depression. I knew something was wrong. I didn't know what it was. So dysthymia, a lot of you may be experiencing this right now.
Yeah.
You're walking around, but you know something's off, but you're in a functional dysthymia. Like you've heard of functional alcoholics?
Yeah.
Functional dysthymia, functional. So anyway, what was the question? Because I went off around a little bit.
You were telling us about your experience in prison. You got the sentence, you cried.
Yeah. So when I cried when they gave me the sentence, and I just said, you the consequences. Your actions determine your consequences. I did what I did, and I had to deal with the consequences. The other thought, I was thinking about committing suicide.
Wow.
Because I did not want to go to prison. I could not fathom losing my freedom. The only thing, a lot of times, as my son is my saving grace. That's why I'm like, that would be selfish.
Yeah.
So that would be a cowardly move to commit suicide. So I had to face my consequences. And in me facing my consequences, I had to face me one-on-one in federal prison. Because I had to do an in-depth look at myself and understand why I am the way that I am. Why did I do what I did? So I learned metaphysics. Metaphysics is understanding the universe, which is God. Some people think it's not God. It is God. God made the universe. I understood, but it's deeper for me because then it went into generational curses, which now I understand is called epigenetics, which I am breaking.
Yeah.
And we have to break generational curses. But it's very deep. So they filmed my docuseries, and there's a movie producer that's investing in my miniseries. So it's a lot to explain right now. So we're going to do the short version here, because this is a short interview. All right.
Well, no, and so that's exactly it, right? You were in there and you faced something that made you have to look deeper into yourself, because meeting you on the other side of this, right? I would have never looked at you and thought that you were someone that went through any of these things that you have gone through: trauma as a teen, abuse as a woman, ending up in federal prison. When I speak to you, you just exude positivity and happiness and joy. And that is not something that I would expect. So there was, like you're saying, you faced something that helped you face all those realities and change things about yourself. And then you were in there manifesting. You manifested now what is now your company, Grandiosity Events.
Absolutely.
So tell us about Grandiosity Events.
Yeah, so I literally said, I'm producing an event at a private jet hangar when I come home. I was not coming out small. And so, and the first event, but I had trepidation when I came home because people were whispering, and the streets were talking this and that. And so I utilized someone to go and speak on my behalf. And then once I produced the event, they recognized it was me. And they actually wrote me up in their newsletter, Signature Flight Support Private Jet Hangar. So I'm grateful for that. And if y'all know, private jets aren't cheap. And to house a private jet, it's like housing a yacht at a marina. It's not cheap. So I executed my first two events at a private jet hangar. And then I went on into the world of polo, which is one of the most expensive sports in the world.
Yeah.
So we just executed our 9th annual Celebrity Polo and Jazz at the end of May. And the mayor of Dumfries, Virginia was so impressed that he is inviting me, Polo and Jazz, to Dumfries, Virginia, October 12th. Grandiosity Events is celebrating 10 years. Tomorrow, July 17th, will be 11 years since I was released from federal prison.
Wow.
Ooh,
Wow.
la, la.
La la.
Ooh, la, la. Ooh, la, la.
To get identified.
Does health insurance cover that?
You might have to look into it. Possibly, it may not cover all of it though.
I kind of
so
felt
that's
like
why a lot of adults don't even get identified, and they struggle. Some of them end up losing their jobs because if you go to HR, they're going to need the proper documentations in order for you to get the minimum support.
Exactly.
And that's the sad part. We are covered under the Americans with Disabilities Act, but however, you have to have the proper documentations to go to the HR department and ask about getting accommodations.
So the association, and tell me what it is. There's a organization that helps.
Oh, well, the International Dyslexia Association, it doesn't help identify individuals, but it does give a lot of resources about dyslexia, about what it is, things like that. We do a large conference each year. Like I said, the headquarters is actually located in Maryland, but they have branches pretty much in all 50 states at this point. I'm connected with our Philadelphia or our Pennsylvania branch, where I actually I am the co-host of our adult dyslexia support group each month. We're on Zoom, and we meet, and it's just a safe place for adults to meet to talk about their dyslexic challenges. But oftentimes, like I say, that's a hub where if you think, okay, I'm dyslexic, I think I'm dyslexic, I was never identified. But if you go to the International Dyslexia Association page, they will tell you some signs, symptoms, and possibly where your local branch would be, or how to get connected with your local branch.
So does the organization have access to information that if I come as an adult who's struggling, who keeps bumping into challenges in the workforce, do they have the resources or information to share with me about doctors who I might be able to go to get the proper diagnosis?
It all depends on what state you're in, and if that local branch knows anyone in your state that you can connect with to get identified, because you really have to have a person to make that diagnosis or to assess that, who knows the proper assessment, because they're going to assess you for things like ADHD, your eye, thinking it's a vision problem, all those things, which is not. So you have to single out what is not and then find out what it is. So that person has to be really have that the proper license to diagnose you as being dyslexic. So
And
again,
that sounds like
they could be someone, they could have connections there at that branch. I was blessed when I was identified for our local branch here in the Pennsylvania area. The person that I called and I was able to get, because they have something called a screening too. You can, which is at a lower cost. You can get something called a screening. You can say, okay, maybe I can get a screening done. And like I say, the screening is not as much as the complete evaluation. And also going back to see if the job would take a screening instead of the evaluation, but most of them do want that complete psychological evaluation in order for you to get accommodations. But you can always, find out and ask.
Okay. That I mean, dyslexia is not new. So to hear that it's that hard and I'm sure when you said after you graduate from high school, so my documentation that I had that helped me through high school does not carry on into adulthood.
No, it doesn't.
And I think that, I mean, just listening, it should, because I think about the children who age out of adoption, of foster care, and then they go on into independent living because they know you're going to need some resources and some help. And therefore, the person who's coming out of high school, I would see that or think that they would be able to transition into the workforce with that same support and then be still in the system some kind of way that would allow that assessment to be made with them as an adult 18 and over, that they carry with them like we have to carry our driver's license. This would be something that on the job shows that I have the proper documentation to state that I have this, and you didn't say disability, you said this
learning difference, but they have to categorize it as a disability in order to get any accommodations.
Oh, wow.
Because if it's not under the DMV as a disability, why would you need accommodations?
Wow. Okay. So I would take it. I just wanted to make sure I was being politically correct and not insensitive to the dyslexic population. But if I need that, then so be it. Give me what I need so that I can be successful as an adult, because I can't imagine, as hard as it is for those who aren't walking around or aren't challenged with some kind of learning difference. I can't imagine the struggle, because the workforce is just brutal.
It is definitely.
Wow.
And it's certain, like I said, it all depends on where you work. Corporate America is tough. The medical field is tough.
Private industry is tough. It's very cutthroat, because that brings me to your next quote. We kind of have talked about accommodations aren't about lowering the bar. They're about clearing the path so our true strengths can shine. And that's exactly what I'm thinking when we're talking about. It's like, how can I be successful if the odds are stacked that far against me?
Absolutely.
And to get the right assessment is, first off, I need to have a job. And if I'm not employed or gainfully employed, how am I going to pay that kind of money for a test?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I can only imagine.
I can tell you, I personally experienced that. I work at a higher institution, and I got my degree from this place. And when I asked for accommodations as an employee, been working there for years, they said that I needed an updated evaluation. And I can't afford what you pay me. I cannot afford an updated evaluation. So what we do is workarounds. We try to find other alternatives to help us out.
Wow. Is there like a because you said you do monthly meetings online for
On Zoom.
adults.
Mhm.
So that's exactly. So do you guys have a Facebook? If I'm an adult living and dealing with dyslexia, how do I join your group? Because I need to be able to call you and say, Dr. Johnson-Rockmore, they just gave me this assignment at work and I am struggling. Can you suggest or tell me this is what I have to do? This is my deadline. I'm starting to get anxious. I'm nervous.
Yeah.
What do I do? Is there somewhere where I would be able to go and reach out? And
The adult support group is still under the International Dyslexia Association. So, but we're just one of the branches, and probably I think the only branch that does the adult support group. So actually, if they go to the International Dyslexia Association, or some people have Googled dyslexic support groups, in our branch normally just pops up because we're the only one right now doing this the adult support group via on Zoom.
So I can be in Maryland and come to your group.
Oh yeah.
The lack of accommodations is very unfortunate. I can't imagine for the individuals who are having to deal with that. But if you are someone who wants to join the group, and this is excellent because if it's on Zoom, I can be in Timbuktu and I can join the group. And then once I join the group, does it give me that place where I can, like you said, it's a safe space. Now I have people I'm meeting that I don't feel alone anymore.
Exactly. That is that was desire.
Yeah, I'm meeting people who might be in the same industry, who might be a million miles away, but they're able to be a resource for me and help me with some of the things I might be struggling with, especially at work.
We have a med student in our group that joins our group periodically now. He talks about the struggles that he's having in med school. And we're there to encourage each other, to strengthen, and just again, it's a safe place to talk, because a lot of times your family members may not understand if you're not, because dyslexia is hereditary. So if you had a family member with dyslexia, it came down that line somewhere, but grandmom, great grandmom, grandpop, they may be the ones that were dyslexic, but it was never identified then. So they may not have been able to help you. So sometimes in our families, we're not able to really talk about it because there's no one else that understands that struggle. So this is the safe place to come to kind of really talk about your dyslexic challenges. Sometimes we have those dyslexic days or whatever. You just need someone to talk to that understands that struggle. And each dyslexic is different. None of us are the same, but we kind of, those hurdles and those challenges in life, we can help and support and encourage one another. We had people joining from California, we had a couple people join from overseas. So because there's nowhere else that they feel like they belong.
Wow. And what better person to have than you, because you also said a single question for self-reflection. What if my brain's difference is my greatest asset? So talk about the asset that you found in your own situation when you got diagnosed.
The greatest asset that I was able to find when I was, again, identified, I said a light went on, because all those years I was told I was dumb. I was told I was slow. I was told I was stupid, never being able to mount to anything. In fact, it was a high school teacher told the whole class we couldn't go to college because we just didn't have the academic abilities. So all of that negative, those
I hope you say hello to him. I hope you've gone back and said hello to him or her and said, hey, if you have any students, send them to me. I'll be glad to help them and help them with their confidence and everything, because you were definitely a naysayer.